They're blobbing up. None of my troops can reach his mothership because it's so far away. Only so much damage has been dealt to the mothership, and now he is moving towards my base, and undoubtedly that is the end of me. There's not much I can do about this. I did have the forts here, but there was absolutely no way for me to fight this through. Because he was just still under the mothership. As you can see, his units are hidden, that's from my perspective, and I can't hit him unless I destroy the mothership itself. So that's it. That's that much for this game. It was obviously really good strategy that was chosen by my opponent, focusing quite heavily on air, and in the end I probably would have needed to have a lot of air units that could kill that mothership, and for as long as the mothership is alive I am unable to win this. Now we should start another game, however this one for some reason has been dropped. If you see a Terran here, that means you'll be playing with a Terran. If you see a Zerg, that means you'll have selected a Zerg. And if you see a Protoss here, that means you have selected yourself a Protoss. And this time we'll be playing against the Zerg player. Now, first things first, I need to hotkey a few bases. I'm still not used to kind of using these too much, however there's a lot to learn about, obviously. Unfortunately I have selected two SUVs here. I think I shouldn't be doing. And now it begins. I'm building myself some barracks here, and it looks like this is not going to be a good wall off, no doubts about it. Let's go with more SUVs. For orbital command I need a barracks, and when that's done, the barracks done, orbital command will be started, and I want to build myself a second command center as fast as possible. In this case, now because I'm not playing competitively, I may be risking an early aggression here due to the fact that I'm building this second command center, but all in all, I kind of expect that my opponent will not attack me early on in the game, and it will be a lot of fun. Okay. Now here I'm going to go with 2D of these. So that's that. Okay. In here a wall starts to begin. As you can see, I would need to build myself another supply depot over there. Then we're going for more gas, and the first mule can be dropped, obviously. Okay, and my second command center will be finished soon. I need to build myself a factory. Okay, and I'm going to order more units that could be built here and there. After that, a few marines, and I would like to already start focusing on the upgrades out here. So for that I need a lot of gas, and the gas is not going to be easy come by. Furthermore, I'm trying not to lose out on the upgrades, and I'm trying not to lose out on supply. So I'm building a few supply depots here, sending this on, and that's that. I'm not going to focus on the tanks in this game, and I'm going to build myself a few barracks now. Quite a few barracks, so that I would have the starting position from which I could immediately build with a relative ease large number of units. Now, how many barracks do I need? Probably 6 would be the perfect number here, I guess. I don't know. However, I'm sure that 6 would certainly prove to be the right number. And I'm being attacked. That's early aggression. As you can see, this will undoubtedly kill off my units, and due to the fact that I wasn't focusing much on the economy, I lose my SCVs. Now, with that, it kind of concludes it all, as you may already notice, because without the SCVs, I wouldn't be able to work this out nearly as effectively. I would be only building SCVs here and focusing on that, which means I'm not going to build as many units, and this will undoubtedly puts me in a position from which I just simply cannot recover, really. His second attack will come at any moment now, and he undoubtedly has everything already readied up, and undoubtedly he is going to prevail in this match. However, for as long as I'm not completely wiped out, it kind of makes sense to play this. As you can see, they're launching another attack on me here. An attack which I was surprisingly able to repel. Okay. It looks like it would be a good time for me to start putting reactors and whatnot on my barracks here. Okay, let's find out if all the barracks are selected. Yeah, it looks like everything is fine. I'm not making any gas, however my SUVs are almost completely ready. They just need to finish building. I need more supply depots here. Let's see what my opponent is up to. As you can see, he's building up quite a bit. He has himself a second base saturated, probably a lot more upgrades already in place to fight me against with. And I am being supply blocked, surprisingly enough. I am. Okay, now I'm waiting for more supply depots to be finished, and then we'll be building more, a lot more. However, as you can see, its roach attack was good enough, and they will undoubtedly simply wipe me out here. It was expected already. I focused too much on other things. And that's it. That is the end of me here. And it's a loss. Let's watch this replay and find out what happened out there. So, my opponent, as we already know, has chosen a quick aggression path in this game, which has proved to be a success for him. So, what does he do? He builds himself a spawning pool, second command center, a gas. Well, that's called hatchery, not a command center, but I'm sure you get it. There's a nexus for Protoss, command center for the Terran, and hatchery for Zach. So he's already piling up his forces. So he built himself an extractor for gas, spawning pool, a second hatchery, roach warren, and he's building himself multiple zerglings for an early aggression. Obviously, this has proved to be very, very effective for him. A Zerg player should probably consistently do that. By this time, I expanded myself quite well too. So this isn't super early aggression, like super early, that you would call like this is an early rush. No, this isn't an early rush. This is more of a early attack. However, as you can see, instead of building marines, I'm building myself 5 barracks that cost thousands and thousands of resources. And what he does, he moves on to the offensive. An extremely successful offensive in this case, and he gets into the prize, which is the SUVs. Surprisingly enough, he takes out all my SUVs here. As you can see, it wasn't walled off, so now he can get into my second command center, or the main command center, and fight off my SUVs here. If he would have been trapped, then he would have had to carve through this, and my marines together with newly built cyclones would have been able to stop them. I would have still been able to have my main command center. So that's a good example of why a wall off is very, very important. Now, as you can see, his overlords are dropped all over the place. So it's a good example of why everybody should send a few ships, airships, to simply kind of go and hunt these overlords. And after that he is preparing for a Ling Roach attack. However, he's already sending a few Lings out there. However, these Lings were, unfortunately for the opponent, defeated. I already had a few Marines out here. As you can see, the Marines are not in range to shoot, but he knows I didn't. I was kind of working out there, so he decides to initiate the attack. And he won undoubtedly. Obviously, he's expanding even further with his third base out there and preparing for another Ling attack. No, not Ling attack, that's a Roach attack. A Roach attack, 0-0 upgrades, however that is enough Roaches. 21 in total. And we can see all that he has here. He has like hatcheries keyed up, as you can see, into groups, and he was able to easily blast through my defenses out there and win this undoubtedly. Now he's in my main, and it pretty much means GG. Now that that's done, let's move on to the next one. Should I build more Marines? Probably I should build more Marines. Interesting thing is that in unranked matches we face players who are a greater level that we would normally face. That's what I expect. It looks like the opponent has left instantaneously, and so the game ends too. Maybe it was a disconnect, who knows. Now I decided to get my 7 wins in open league. Otherwise, playing against high level players, I may not be able to get my league opened early on. So what are the requirements to open a league? 1 versus 1 ranked play unlocks up to 10 first wins of the day in ranked or versus AI matches. This can only be earned on 1 race per day. You can also unlock ranked immediately with any purchase of a campaign or war chest. However, our play in unranked so far is proving very interesting because we're playing against higher level players anyway, but I think that the most satisfying option here in this game is obviously playing league, where everything is ranked and we're facing opponents close to our level. For this reason, I'm going to play against AI and see how this works out. And so we need to play against the AI and win. Currently we are facing a harder AI difficulty. Difficulty is adjusted based on your performance. Go to melee under the custom section to play against specific difficulties or build orders. Alright, we can go into melee. Let's go into melee. Abyssal Reef. Let us try this here and see if this works out. So what I'm going to do here, to open my league a little bit quicker than I would otherwise be by playing unranked, I'm going to try and add an AI who is very easy, and I'll play as a Terran and I'll try to beat him and see if this victory counts as a victory of the day. Let's do just that. We're facing a random AI, that means we don't know what kind of opponent we'll be facing. Okay. So that's the 3 bases out here that we need to take. As you have noticed, we have been so far playing only small maps, and we were not playing large maps. Now that I'm playing versus the AI, it wouldn't be surprising for us to build a quick command center, quick second command center, or even more, and not really worry about early aggression, because very easy AI is designed slowly for us to win, so that we could kind of enjoy the game while we don't really know, when we don't know when we don't know how to play. So it wouldn't be surprising if AI won't be attacking us early on. In any case, let us just build up consistently and not worry about much. So I built myself a second command center out here, and I'm going to fill it up with troops soon. I like to call them troops, however they're SCVs, and being precise is probably very important too. And so I'm building SCVs now, and I hope to fill up my command centers with it. As you can see, after building the command center, I'm getting extra supply available for me here, which is awesome. After that, I'm going to build myself... No, I wanted to build myself a third command center, but I decided that 2 command centers should be just enough for me to do this right. I kind of forgot to build myself an orbital command because I was focusing so much on all these SUVs. Now, orbital command is important, no doubts about it, because it allows to drop mules. With mules that are being dropped, I'm able to gather a lot more resources than otherwise it would be available for me to do. Which is great. Now, 4 barracks may just be enough for this. After that, we'll increase our ability to build resources, and I'm going for these orbital commands out here for now. And then I can hotkey everything. That is precisely the command centers. and drop mules whenever I have to, whenever I can. Alright. So far so good. Everything seems to be in order. And my marines can start to move forward. As you can see, there's always something to do here. So things are continuously moving forward. Okay. Now, undoubtedly, a third command center can be built because I wasn't focusing that much on building units, which is something I most likely could have done, but didn't. Furthermore, supply depots should start being built. I'm going to save the money for the third command center here. Oh, look at that. It looks like this was a scouting unit, which is fine for me so far. For as long as I don't have an army and 3 command centers, things are not looking good, always. Or most of the time so far. I don't really get enough resources to kind of build without stop. And eventually the resources pile up so well that I'm able to build units consistently without a stop, and that's pretty much exactly what I need. However, then obviously the game becomes much quicker. Okay, after that we need to build ourselves 2 starports, and I have to fill up this command center right here with SUVs. After that we know we're good, and we just need to completely focus on building a lot more units and supply depots. As you can see, unsurprisingly maybe, things are looking good. For a full-fledged army, I would need to build myself medevacs, which is something I'm going to do. Alright. Look at that, that's the observer that's coming in. It may do some damage to some of my buildings. For this reason, it's a good idea to build these anti-air cannons. Now, my opponent has successfully built himself more bases, as you can see. Alright. After that we need stim, shields, and more stuff. Now these missile turrets, as they are being called, has been working out well. And I'm launching the assault now. And now I should destroy them. My medivacs moved up way too early. That's it. As you can see, their army was meager. And now we are in the base. We can back them. The stim isn't finished yet. All the units will destroy. I accept the surrender. And now let's find out if I got my win of the day. It looks like I didn't got my win of the day. That means I may have to play versus the AI here or versus the unranked. I have already played a lot versus the AI. For this reason, playing against unranked would be a lot more satisfying. Winning versus games that had custom difficulty selected, as we already did in the custom match, melee section won't work towards our league placement unlocked. Unlocking. We have to win unranked or versus the AI, just that. No custom matches.